Is it time to accept defeat on Erling Haaland? And who are the 3 must-own players I need to cover the captaincy for the festive period? Welcome to the Gianni YouTube show. Hope you guys are well and you're looking forward to Gameweek 13. Loads to get through in today's show. We're going to get to my team in just a second. But first, let's just start with a quick roundup of some injuries in the Champions League, or potential injuries. We saw Gabriel coming off with a knock. Arteta said he felt some discomfort. He came off in the 85th minute. He's clearly flagged for the weekend. He was seen grimacing a couple of times. He's not the type to come off. You've got to be slightly concerned if you're a Gabriel owner like me. Arteta probably won't tell us. I don't think we need to be too alarmed. If he's out, it shouldn't be for long. Fingers crossed, though, he makes it. He's definitely got a chance. Of course he has. We also saw in the Liverpool game, Konate and Bradley, potential injuries there. They're going to be assessed. We've got a quote here. I know where they have pain, but how bad it is, said Slot, we just don't know. It's difficult to judge. If Bradley is out, Konate is out, and potentially Trent is out, that Liverpool backline will be a little bit makeshift for Erling Haaland and co. But it wasn't great news for Erling Haaland and co because they let a 3-goal lead slip against Feyenoord. Pep, we've never seen him like this at Man City. He's on a shocking run. He was seen scratching his head, clearly in distress. But I do wonder if it's more than that. The graze on the nose, the fat lip, probably not come from the head scratching on the bench. I wonder if there's been a bit of a dressing room bust up there. Who knows? If there has been, you wouldn't be surprised. And my money's on Gvardiol and Pep. I fancy Gvardiol to probably have the upper hand there. He was at fault for a couple of the goals. And he was obviously at fault in game week 12 as well for Man City. So yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what you think to that situation. But, we shouldn't make light of it, really. If it is Pep just scratching his head, then yeah, that's slightly sad that he's injured himself. Decisions. I'm going to start off with 2 options, right, for my team. Option 1 and option 2. Let me present these options before I actually show you my bus team. So, option 1, this was the original plan, okay? It was always going to be Solanke out for João Pedro this week. And then Bruno out in 14, so I get Bruno versus Everton this week, and then to bring Salah in. The way Man City are defending, I kind of need that. I think I need Salah this week. So do I go with this? If I do, I have the threemium of Haaland, Salah and Palmer for the festive period. So let's see option 1 actually on a team sheet, shall we? So this is my team as things stand before transfers. If I go with option 1, then Solanke comes out for João Pedro. And let's assume Bruno comes out for Salah, either this week or next. I've got the exact funds to do it this week. I don't think Salah's going to go up in price again, but this could be something I do this week. If this is my team, it's great to have Haaland, Palmer and Salah, but I look at this with no money in the bank. Where am I getting money to ever get to Arsenal attack? Like, if I want to get on a Havertz or a Saka, excuse me, or if I want double Arsenal defence, this team really restricts me. It's obviously a cracking looking threemium, but it really, really restricts. So, whilst that was the plan, I'm happy to rip up the plan. It's still an option for me this week, but I'm less likely to go with option 1. Let's have a look at option 2 in comparison. So option 2, we can see from this graphic, comparing it to option 1, option 2 requires an extra transfer. Option 2 requires a 4-point hit this week. In game week 13, I'd be looking at selling Haaland and say Dibbling and bringing in João Pedro and Salah. It also makes my squad a little bit stronger. It moves Rodgers down to the 8th attacker, okay? And then next week, if I want, I can go in Burmo or Bruno out for a Saka. So let's see how option 2 looks on the team sheet. So back to the bus team. 4-point hit this week. Dibbling and Haaland, see you later. João Pedro and Salah, in you come. It then, as I said, Rodgers goes from 7th attacker, Dibbling on the bench, to now Rodgers on the bench. That's fine this week. It could give me some benching headaches over the Christmas period. I don't think that should matter too much, though, because we are going to see some rotation, especially with teams like Villa who are playing in the Champions League. Like, you've got to think there'll be a game where Rodgers gets a rest in the Premier League. So this scenario will happen for a few teams, and with that in mind, having a good 8th attacker probably works. It probably works for you. So if I go with this team, it then allows me plenty of routes to Saka. We can see I've got plenty of money in the bank. I can go And Burmo out next week in game week 14. I obviously want Burmo for Leicester this week. And then Saka in, or I could sell Bruno to Saka. If I did Bruno to Saka, I've got a lot of money still to then upgrade like Rico Lewis to Timber, for example. So I think option 2 is far more flexible. It does leave me, however, without Erling Haaland. So before we make our case for if I'm going with option 1 or 2, let's just have a look and talk a little bit about Erling Haaland and then look at the captaincy matrix, because Erling Haaland and keeping him or selling him, a lot for me depends on how often am I likely to captain him over the festive period. At 15 million, he needs to be a legitimate captaincy option 50% of the time to justify the price tag. So, Erling Haaland. I saw this tweet in the week from FPL Olympian. The XGI in the last 6 games, it has been a joke, right? Haaland 6.4, Salah 5.3. Yet Salah has got 61 points and Haaland 21. When you take into account captaincy, the extreme is even higher. You're looking at like 80 additional points if you've captained Salah over Haaland. 80 in 6 game weeks when Haaland had a higher level of XG, higher level of chance. It's just been a rough deal. Now, it's not all down to bad luck. Sure, you've got to back players that have great finishing ability, as Salah does, but Haaland usually does, and sometimes we forget that. Haaland has still been getting the chances, and I know there's a chance I sell him this week, and if I do, I really hope people don't go, oh, why is he selling Haaland? Of course he's going to score goals. Guys, no one's been a bigger believer of Haaland scoring goals than me. I'm fully aware Haaland's going to score goals. I completely know that. But will he score enough goals, and will I be captaining him? That's the big question for me. So look, when we look at the captaincy matrix, and guys, I would love you, if you're enjoying the show so far, to like and subscribe. That would be amazing. If you're new around here, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. So look, check out this captaincy matrix. I've got my own Excel spreadsheet for my team, and the captaincy matrix, I was like, let's just have a little tinker. If the big decision for me is, do I keep Haaland or not, right? So if I keep him, how often will I captain him? So option 1 here at the top, Haaland, Salah, Palmer as a trio over the festive period, I'll probably captain him in 14 and 15 and 19 and 20. But when I look at game week 14 and 15, it really is a coin toss for Haaland. Palmer in game week 14 goes to Southampton. Is that a stronger fixture than Haaland at home to Forest? There's not much in it. Salah in game week 15 goes to Everton. Is that a stronger fixture than Haaland going to Palace? Maybe it is. So 14 and 15 are coin tosses. Therefore, it's only really in 19 and 20. And look, in 19, Palmer has Ipswich away when Haaland has Leicester at home. So really, you look at it and go, I don't need to captain this guy. And if I'm not captaining him, do I need to own him? And actually, does it make sense to go to a Saka? I should mention, I don't think I need to captain Saka much. If you own a threemium of Saka, Salah and Palmer, again, we see option 2 in the middle here. If you're listening on podcast, I'll talk you through it. But pretty much, if you own Saka, Salah, Palmer, you're rotating between Palmer and Salah for the festive run. You could captain Saka in game week 18. He's got Ipswich at home. But Salah's got Leicester at home that week. If you own Haaland, Saka and Palmer and no Salah, then Saka becomes a captaincy option in 18, and sure, you captain Haaland more. The way Salah's playing, the way Liverpool's playing, we're probably going to want to own Salah. You're going to be captaining Salah a lot. Of course you are. And that's why I feel the need to own him now, not wait till game week 14. Sure, it's not the best entry point. Salah's about to play Man City, and then he's about to play Newcastle away. 2 tough fixtures. Everton away after that. But is the City fixture difficult? The bookies have City at 4-1. I've never seen City at 4-1 in a Premier League football match under Pep. They're the massive underdogs. Liverpool just beat Real Madrid 2-0. Yeah, Salah missed a pen, but Liverpool are flying right now. And even with defensive issues, if they have them, yes, I fancy City to score. And probably Haaland to score. Haaland's a good enough pick this week. But the chances Salah's been getting of late, against Southampton late on, he could have had his hat-trick. And the chances City are conceding, we've never seen anything like it under Pep. City are conceding chances like no other team. No other City team, ever. Like Pep's teams concede 1 big chance a match, usually, on average. They're conceding like 4-5 at the moment. Even to teams with all due respect, like Feyenoord, who I think had 4 big chances. Guys, we need to talk about captaincy this week, and I need to tell you what I'm looking to finalise with my team. I've also got a captaincy poll to show you. Before I do, shout out to Fantasy Football Scout. All the data I use and the wealth of information I get is often from Fantasy Football Scout members area. For the articles, for the visual stuff, for the data, it's all brilliant, and they've got a free trial for Black Friday. You can sign up now for a 7-day complete all-access free trial. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. Fantasy Football Scout, honestly, if you haven't tried the members area, it's a free trial, so give it a go. Also want to give a shout out to Sleeper guys. I'm giving away a PS5. A PS5 this game week to one of you lot. On Monday, I'll be giving it away. So PS5 to the person that has the highest level of predicted results correct in my Pick'em League. So 10 Premier League fixtures, like every weekend. All you got to do is home win, away win, or draw. If there's a tie, I expect the winner will probably get 8 or 9 out of 10. If there's 2 or 3 people that get that top rank, we'll do a spin the wheel live on YouTube to win the PS5. So get entering. There's a link in the description. You can scan the QR code. Every week I give away a £100 Amazon voucher. Selected weeks I do a PS5. There's no catch. It's free to play. My decision this week. Wow. Let me show you that option graphic one more time. Option 1, option 2. I think you're all screaming at the screen saying, Gianni, suck it up and get Salah right now. And therefore go option 2. It leaves you flexible and it gives you an option of Saka. And I do think Saka's key to these options because option 1 allows for no Saka unless I sell Palmer. And the way Arsenal are playing right now, since Odegaard is back, it's been a big difference, guys. Against Nottingham Forest, that was arguably their most comfortable or best performance in the Premier League this season. Then they went to Lisbon and scored 5. Arsenal are flying right now, and Odegaard in that team massively helps Saka. And it massively adds goals, which Saka will benefit from. So I think it's going to be option 2. And when we see option 2 in the team, it does look good. Like, I don't have Saka this week for West Ham away, but it gets me Salah in place. It means Morgan Rogers is my first sub. I do have a bit of a defensive nightmare this week. Like, at the moment, I've got Gabriel, I've got Lewis Hall in the 11, and I've got Mikalenko in the 11, which is far from ideal. Rico Lewis and Greaves could come off the bench because Gabriel might not start, and I might have a change of heart there on Mikalenko starting. But in attack, it does look really good, doesn't it? Like, if I go through my midfield of Palmer and Burmo, Bruno, and then Salah with Rodgers on the bench, and then the front 3. And again, a lot of the decision comes down to this week. Like, by selling Haaland, I do get to keep Solanke. And when I look at Solanke's fixtures, I don't hate them because Spurs, remember, they're pretty fixture-proof. Spurs can go and score against anyone. We just went and saw them score so many goals versus Man City. So with Solanke in mind, not wanting to sell him for Fulham at home, who might not have Anderson fit, Solanke, Cunha, and João Pedro is a great front 3. Many will be looking at João Pedro and Cunha this week going, which budget Brazilian forward do I buy? And there's not much in it. If money's not an issue, I'll probably rank Cunha slightly higher. But money's always an issue, and there is over $1 million to be saved. João Pedro is a brilliant entry point at Southampton at home. I like them both. When we see this team, let me just mark down for you some potential captaincy choices, okay? Palmer, Mbeumo, Bruno, Salah. That entire midfield 4 could be captained. And I'm also going to chuck in João Pedro. I'm not going to captain Cunha. I'm not going to captain Solanke. And look, I'm very unlikely to captain Bruno or João Pedro either. For me, I don't think I'll captain Salah either. I've been backing against Salah for long enough. I'm going to continue backing against him, but owning him is my insurance. I've not owned him, which is why it's really hurt my rank. I'm ranked around 2 million. I think I'm between Mbeumo and Palmer this week. The reason being, let me show you a captaincy poll. I am definitely backing against a majority here. I did a poll on Twitter. 48% from nearly 2,000 votes are going Salah. 33% are going Cole Palmer. The reason I like both Palmer and Mbeumo, Palmer, midweek rest, and Chelsea, a lot of the B team playing Thursday night, so Chelsea get a big rest. Villa played their first team, of course they did, on Wednesday night versus Juventus. They're going to be leggy and tired, aren't they? They've put so much energy into that Juve game. Chelsea are going to be fresh. Palmer's going to be fresh. And Palmer at home is a very good option. We know that. History tells us that. And Burmo playing a manager's Leicester. And Burmo might not have had the best results of late in terms of individual performance, but boy, is he still the talisman of that team. And Brentford's home form is top of the home charts, and their away form is bottom of the away charts. They're at home to arguably the worst, one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the league. You might say Southampton are a weaker defence than Leicester. But other than Southampton, Leicester have been bad defensively. And look, managers Leicester as well. I like Mbeumo and Palmer. Salah's clearly a great shout. I don't think I'll go there. It'll be a coin toss. You can tune into my deadline stream to see what I do and what transfers I go through with. But I'm pretty sure this will be my team. It will be option 2. And I'm fairly happy with that. Guys, on your way out, please do hit those buttons. I would love you to subscribe if you're new around here. And liking helps the algorithm. Drop a comment. I'll reply, if not straight away, within 24 hours. But for now, guys, I'll see you on my deadline stream on Friday. Good luck if I don't see you before then. And hopefully one of you lot wins that PS5. Get scanning and downloading that link. Bye-bye.